Hello and welcome to this episode. In this episode, I am going to talk about all the simple tools I have or I use on a daily basis. Like right now, this is early in the morning, so I just got to work and I will always have a meeting with myself. I will always have a meeting with myself for 30 minutes. And what I would do is I would check what's going on with the day, what's going on with the week, where I am in all my classes and stuff like that. So it's kind of a little bit of a reflection, but it's more like I just want to see where I am with what I'm doing. Am I falling behind a little bit, or am I okay? Am I on track? Did I miss out anything? So it's one of those things, right? Now there are a couple of books that I will actually have for this meeting, and these are the books that I use all the time. The first one is my calendar. I definitely look at my calendar all the time. It's like a desk calendar, and this is something that I bought at a store in the mall, and it has all the months laid out. It's like a month a page, so it's not like a daily calendar, it's more like a monthly calendar, because I like to see my picture. I like to see what I'm doing from a month perspective, from a view, like a monthly view, which I think is a great way of doing things. Because our time in school, when we are running our classes, what happens is things go, suddenly the day just escapes you, and next thing you know, you're like 3-4 o'clock, and you're like, oh my God, what did I do today? So I like looking at my calendar from a month's view, so that way I know where I am, and I know what's going on for the week. I know what's going on for maybe next week. If there's any holidays coming up, I can prepare for it, because I teach classes like once a week. So if there's a holiday, all those classes will actually miss one whole class, because I don't meet them multiple times in a week. I meet them once a week. So if their class lands on a holiday, well, you know what? I fall behind at least by one class. It's nice to look at it from a nice monthly point of view, So I do have my calendar. That's the first book. Then I have an idea book, which is like just for ideas. Then I have this other book, which is also an idea book. And as you can see, my idea books are actually yellow, so that way, no matter where it is, I can always look at it for yellow. It's nice that it's yellow. And this is where I look for ideas and stuff like that. And if I get ideas, because I do a lot of research, I love researching stuff. And if I get any idea, I will always jot it down. I would, if I don't have the book in front of me, I will use my phone and to record a voice recording of it. Or I'll try to type it. I usually do a voice recording, so when I have a meeting, and I will just, here's my phone, and I have my phone, and I will just look at my audio, and then I will just, play the audio and just jot down notes and stuff. Now, I have this other book, which is it's called a desk book, and it's just a notebook, and it's my go-to book. I mean, it has a lot of ideas, it has a lot of lessons, a lot of lesson details. I do use this notebook like a diary, kind of like a diary, but diary of information, not diary like a daily diary type of thing. And in this book, what I do is I will actually write down the potential questions for exams, and because it's nice, because as I'm teaching, I'm also doing summative assessment. It's like, I think about the end in mind, so I know what my exam is going to kind of look like, and then that way I work backwards, and then I will, compose the questions, and if it's multiple choices, then I have all the different answers and stuff like that. This book is kind of heavy. As you can see, it's a little bit, it's a little heavy, so I don't carry this book around. I leave it in my classroom, and I do refer to it, and I have it listed, or I have it tabbed by class level, because I teach multiple levels. So I do have it, tabbed out, so that way it's easy for me to jump straight to the tab. Now, some lessons can be referred to multiple levels, and if it's so, then I'll just say that it's multiple level. This is a very good book. I like this book. I don't know where I got this idea from. I'm sure this is my idea, but it's taken from so many ideas from so many teachers that I have seen over the years. So I've made one book, and I tell myself, okay, here is your one book, where you put anything and everything in this book. Even if something that is not feasible, in the sense that, it's a great idea, but it may not work out, but I will always write it down. I don't edit anything. I will write it down, because you never know, as the days go by, things always change. Suddenly an idea that you thought was not good suddenly it fits in one of your class sessions. That is it becomes such a great idea. It has happened to me so many times, and because of that, I will always write everything down. I will simply write everything down. I also have a section over here that says leads, and these are like some ideas for lessons, because the books that we are using is very small. So I need to get like extra lessons from somewhere else where I can bring in, make the classroom a little bit more exciting. So anyway, so I have what is known as my idea book, which is important. I have another one, which is another idea book, but this one is a little bit thinner, and it goes with me all the time. So that way, if I'm stuck in traffic or if I'm anywhere, I can always pull this one out and start looking at it, referring to it, or reading it, and stuff like that. I also have another section in this book that end of the day, I will always take a 30-minute meeting with myself. I do this every day, a 30-minute meeting with myself where I would tell myself, okay, how did the day go? This is important. As a teacher, you want to know that the lessons that you created, was it useful? Did it work? And if it worked, why did it work? And then if it did not work, and why it did not work. You have to be very clear with yourself, because it's like one of those things, right? Like when you're a scientist, and if you're doing experiments in a chemistry lab or something like that, you would always write your observations down. You always will do that because you want to know that, hey, listen, I found out a way where the idea looked very nice, but it just did not work, and this is the reason why it did not work. It's like that Einstein story, if you remember that story, when Einstein was, he invented the bulb, and a team of journalists were like hounding him, and one of the journalists said, like, hey, listen, I understood from my information that you actually wrote down everything, and that you have failed making the bulb for like 1,000 times. Then Einstein, thought a little bit, and then he said to the journalist, he said, no, I didn't fail 1,000 times. I just found 1,000 ways not to make a light bulb. Such a great story. I don't know if that story is true or not, but I hope it's true because it really rings bell. I mean, I love that story, is because that's what it is. As a teacher, you are always experimenting. I'm not a textbook teacher. I will not open the textbook and just go literally from the textbook. I will use the textbook as a guide. I will take all those lessons, and then I will start jumping off those lessons, make it more interesting so the kids understand what they're learning, why they're learning it, and stuff like that. So anyway, thank you very much for attending this little session. I hope you got some ideas out. If you like what's going on, or you like to know more about how I do things, give me a like. Put a comment in the comment section. Just let me know if there's something specific, and maybe I can help you out. I'll be making more videos and posting it, so subscribe, and thank you. See you in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.